Live from New Delhi, you're watching NEET India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Angola President Lourenço strongly condemns Pahalgam terror attack, expresses solidarity with India in tackling terrorism in all its form, including cross-border terrorism. India's DRDO successfully conducts maiden flight trials of Stratospheric Airship platform, will enhance India's Earth observation and intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities. Israel calls on Qatar to stop playing both sides in Gaza ceasefire and hostage talks. Qatar hits back, says Israel's PM's comments lack political and moral responsibility. Singapore's ruling People's Action Party scores another big election victory, wins 87 of 97 seats, 14th successive victory of PAP. Angola President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço on Saturday condemned the Pahalgam terror attack. The Angola President, the current chair of the 55-member African Union, also expressed solidarity with India in tackling terrorism in all its forms, including cross-border terrorism.
Das primeiras a reagir imediatamente após os tristes acontecimentos na região de Kashmir, em que vitimaram vidas humanas. Portanto, a seu devido tempo, fizemos chegar às autoridades indianas os nossos sentimentos de pesar ao povo indiano e às famílias enlutadas, uma vez que tratou-se de um ato de terrorismo e Angola, obviamente, que condena qualquer tipo de terrorismo, não importa onde ele seja cometido. Dado para, mais uma vez, reiterarmos a nossa solidariedade para com o povo indiano neste momento difícil e fazer votos de que a sabedoria indiana conseguirá ultrapassar este momento difícil, superar este desafio que está a enfrentar, sem que se eleve para níveis insustentáveis o nível de tensão existente.
And Prime Minister Modi on Saturday held bilateral talks with Angolan President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço in New Delhi. Both countries signed 3 MOUs. Besides, Indian government has approved the Angolan request of line of credit of $200 million for defense procurement. Moreover, Angola signed the International Solar Alliance Framework Agreement and became the 123rd member of the ISA. Angolan President condemned the April 22nd Pahalgam terror attack.
Angola President Lourenço arrived in New Delhi and received a ceremonial welcome. He paid his respects to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat, where he also signed the visitor's book. Later, he held bilateral talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Modi announced a significant $200 million line of credit extended by India to support the modernization of Angola's defense forces.
मुझे यह घोषणा करते हुए खुशी है कि अंगोला की सेनाओं के आधुनिकीकरण के लिए $200 मिलियन की डिफेंस क्रेडिट लाइन को स्वीकृति दी गई है। रक्षा प्लेटफॉर्म्स के रिपेयर और ओवरहॉल और सप्लाई पर भी बात हुई है। अंगोला की सशस्त्र सेनाओं की ट्रेनिंग में सहयोग करने में हमें खुशी होगी।
Beyond defense, the two nations also formalized cooperation in several other crucial sectors. Memorandum of Understanding was signed in the fields of traditional medicine, agriculture and cultural exchange, signaling a commitment to diversify their partnership. India also pledged to share its expertise and capabilities with Angola in the areas of digital public infrastructure, space technology, and capacity building.
3 memorandum of understandings were concluded today in the presence of the two leaders. One is pertaining to cooperation agriculture. The second is cultural cooperation, and the third is in the area of traditional medicine and Ayurveda.
The visit holds particular significance as 2025 marks the 40th anniversary of the establishment of formal diplomatic relations between India and Angola. Historically, India demonstrated solidarity with Angola by supporting its freedom struggle against Portuguese colonial rule, culminating in Angola's independence in 1975. Economic ties between the two nations are currently underpinned by a strong energy partnership, with Angola being a major oil producer in Africa. India stands as Angola's second largest trading partner, accounting for approximately 10% of Angola's external trade. However, there is a growing focus on diversifying this economic partnership. India exports goods worth $700 million to Angola, including refined oil products, engineering goods, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, plastic, food items, and chemicals. Furthermore, Indian companies have invested in Angola across various sectors such as retail, FMCG, plastic, metal, diamond polishing, pharmaceuticals, garments, hospitals, cement, and restaurant, with an estimated presence of over 200 Indian firms in the country. Looking ahead, Angola chairmanship of the African Union will add another layer of strategic importance to its relationship with India. Bureau Report, DD India.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held talks with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov on Friday. In a post on social media, Dr. Jaishankar said that he discussed the Pahalgam terrorist attack with Russian FM Lavrov. His perpetrators, backers and planners must be brought to justice. The two leaders also spoke about the bilateral cooperation activities between the two sides. And in a significant demonstration of solidarity, the members of the Indian diaspora in Germany organized a peaceful protest march in Munich to condemn the recent terrorist attack in Pahalgam. The protest saw over 700 participants from various communities as well as Indian students. Participants condemned the violence and expressed solidarity with the victims. The event was also attended by German Member of Parliament, Professor Dr. Hans Thies, and Munich City Councillor Delija Balidemaj, underscoring broad support for the stand against terrorism. Meanwhile, Pakistan Army Post resorted to unprovoked small arms fire during the night of 3rd and 4th May across the Yellow Sea in areas opposite Kupwara, Baramulla, Poonch, Rajouri, Mendar, Naushera, Sundarbani and Akhnur in Jammu and Kashmir. Indian Army responded promptly and proportionately. The Defence Research and Development Organization successfully conducted the maiden flight trials of its Stratospheric airship platform on May 3rd from the Shiopur trial site in Madhya Pradesh. Developed by Aerial Delivery Research and Development Establishment, Agra, the airship was launched carrying an instrumental payload to an altitude of around 17 kilometers. Data from onboard sensors was received and would be utilized for development of high-quality fidelity simulation models for future high-altitude airship flights. Trial team recovered the system for further investigation. The total duration of the flight was about 62 minutes. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has congratulated DRDO for the successful maiden flight trial of the system. He stated that this system will uniquely enhance India's Earth observation and intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities, making the country one of the few countries in the world having such indigenous capabilities. Now, Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal is in London amid the ongoing talks between the two countries on free trade agreement, where he visited International Centre for Sustainability on Saturday. Taking to X, Piyush Goyal said that he met with the founding trustee of International Centre for Sustainability, Sachin Nanda, and discussed the work being done by the centre to enhance the understanding about India's sustainability efforts and to strengthen India-UK ties. Earlier, Piyush Goyal also met representatives of various other Indian organisations based in the UK. Now, the doors of Badrinath Dham, one of Hinduism's most sacred shrines, were opened today at 6 a.m., marking the beginning of 6 months of divine worship and pilgrimage. Hundreds of devotees, led by Raval Amarnath Nambudre, the chief priest of Badrinath, arrived with the festive palanquins of Lord Badri Vishal Kuber and Uddhav. Adding to the spiritual fervour, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami also visited the holy shrine, offering prayers and overseeing arrangements for the pilgrimage. The shrine is being adorned with a grand floral decoration as priests chant Vedic verses to welcome Lord Badri Vishal. Earlier on April 30th, the portals of Gangotri and Yamunotri were opened, initiating Uttarakhand's Chota Char Dham Yatra. This was followed by opening of portals of Kedarnath, one of the most revered shrines of Lord Shiva, on May 2nd, which attracted a massive gathering of devotees. Now, Indian Railways has launched the Bharat Gaurav Deluxe train for a 17-day Char Dham Yatra. Departing from Delhi's Safdarjung railway station on May 27, the train will take devotees to the revered shrines of Badrinath, Joshimath, Rishikesh, Puri, Konark, Rameshwaram and Dwarka, covering a vast distance of 8,425 kilometers. It also includes stops at Kashi Vishwanath, Bhim Shankar and Trimbakeshwar. Tickets are available on a first-come, first-served basis via IRCTC website. This unique pilgrimage offers a spiritual journey across India's most revered temples. The much-awaited NEET UG 2025 exam is set to take place today, with 22.7 lakh candidates appearing across the country. Conducted at 5,453 centres in around 500 cities, the exam plays a crucial role in shaping the future of aspiring medical students. This year's registrations have dropped from 24 lakh last year, following last year's paper leak controversy that had shaken the exam system. To ensure smooth conduct, mock drills were held across all centres on Saturday. As students get up for the big day, authorities are taking extra precautions to maintain transparency and fairness. Now, all the updates on Waves 2025, India's first of its kind World Audiovisual and Entertainment Summit in Mumbai. Motion Picture Association released a report on Day 3 of the Waves 2025 Summit. Addressing the launch event, India's Minister of State of Information and Broadcasting, L. Murugan, said that the MPA report highlights the industry's strategic importance, how it can be critical for job creation and economic growth.
The report of the Motion, friends, the report of the Motion Picture Association highlights the significant economic contribution of Indian film, television, online curated content industry. In 2020-24, the sector generated a combined gross output of rupees 2.77 lakh crore, with a total gross value added of rupees 1.44 lakh crore. It is also supported more than 26 lakhs jobs across the direct and indirect revenue of the employment. This data reaffirms the industry's strategic importance not only as a cultural driver but also a critical engine of job creation and economic growth.
On Day 3 of Wave Summit, actor Amar Khan held an interactive session with aspiring actors and filmmakers on the art of acting. Sharing insight on acting, the actor highlighted the importance of improvisation in the field.
It's a great thing, but you should do it well in advance, that's one. So therefore, because you're doing it in advance, it then becomes part of your rehearsal, and then it no longer remains an improvisation when you're on set, if you know what I mean. But the exercise of going through improvisation is a very important exercise, because it gives you an idea of the different ways in which you can do something, unexpected ways in which you can do something. And it also opens up your mind in different ways.
Film sound designer Rasul Pukuti hailed Indian government's initiative Waves 2025, calling it a platform that aims to boost India's media and entertainment industry with global participation. Take a listen.
A summit like this, Waves, is actually, for me, I look at it as a World Economic Forum for media and entertainment sector. That is what the future of it is. And that was only possible because this platform was created, And there is this government that thought that it is required to have a platform like this where, practitioners can come and discuss and exchange ideas. And people from all over the world can come and share their knowledge and experiences, and an industry can evolve and move forward. And I think that is a great gesture. I think I thank the Honorable Prime Minister of India and the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting and all the people that who thought about this and put it together so that we have a platform.
Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. And the Israeli military issues call-up notices to thousands of reservists to support an expansion of its offensive in Gaza. Mexican president rejects Donald Trump's offer to send US troops to border. And Khelo India Youth Games in Bihar kicks off today. PM Modi to inaugurate it virtually.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office on Saturday called on Qatar to stop playing both sides in his mediation efforts between Israel and Hamas. Despite efforts by Egyptian and Qatari mediators to restore a ceasefire, neither Israel nor Hamas has shown willingness to back down on core demands, with each side blaming the other for the failure to reach a deal. Israel, which wants a return of 59 hostages still held in Gaza, has insisted Hamas must disarm and be excluded from any role in the future governance of the enclave, a condition that Hamas rejects. It has insisted on agreeing a lasting end to the fighting and withdrawal of Israeli forces as a condition for a deal that would see a release of the hostages. Meanwhile, Gaza mediator Qatar on Sunday rejected comments from Netanyahu that it needed to stop playing both sides in truce negotiations. Foreign Ministry spokesman Majid Al-Ansari said in a post on X that Qatar firmly rejects the inflammatory statements. The Israel Defense Forces said it was sending out tens of thousands of call-up orders to reservists as the military was set to significantly expand its offensive against Hamas in the Gaza Strip. According to the IDF, tens of thousands of reservists being called up would begin to show up in the military in the coming week. The reservists have likely been called up multiple times already during the conflict. On Friday, during a security consultation, the military presented Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu with its planned stage offensive in Gaza, which will require substantial mobilization. Israel resumed major operations across Gaza on March 18 amid deadlock over how to proceed with the 2-month ceasefire that had largely halted the war sparked by Hamas's October 2023 attack. Moving on, Singapore's ruling People's Action Party scores another big election win by winning its 14th successive election on Saturday. The party secured 87 out of 97 seats, reaffirming its dominant position in the political landscape, offering Prime Minister Lawrence Wong a clear mandate to navigate the trade-oriented Southeast Asian nation through economic upheaval sparked by looming US tariffs. Wong, who took over from Lee Hsien Loong, faced his first major electoral test amid a more energized opposition. However, voters ultimately backed the PAP's promise of continuity and stability. US election observers met in the Central Electoral Office in Bucharest on Saturday ahead of Romania's presidential election rerun, which follows the controversial cancellation of the initial 2024 ballot due to suspected Russian meddling. The first round of the election rerun takes place on Sunday, with a runoff vote scheduled for May 18 if no candidate wins more than 50% of the vote. In the first round of that cancelled vote on November 24, far-right candidate Calin Georgescu, who had been polling in single digits before the ballot, rose into first place amid an explosion of content on TikTok that favoured him. A quote barred Georgescu from standing in the rerun, and now George Simeon, leader of the radical right Alliance for Uniting Romanians, is leading in opinion polls. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said on Saturday that US President Donald Trump had proposed sending US troops to Mexico to combat drug trafficking, but said she had rejected that offer because sovereignty is not for sale. Sheinbaum's comments were in response to questions about a report published on May 2nd that said Trump was pressuring Mexico to allow deeper US military involvement against drug cartels to combat trafficking across the shared border. Speaking at a public event on Saturday, Sheinbaum said Trump had asked her during a call how he could help fight organized crime and suggested sending US troops. The Mexican leader said she declined Trump's order. And marking World Press Freedom Day on Saturday, media watchdog organizations in Nepal have released annual reports highlighting a concerning rise in violations against press freedom. The Federation of Nepali Journalists recorded 73 incidents of press freedom violations in a year. According to FNJ's Media Monitoring Unit, 151 journalists and 5 media outlets faced intimidation during this period. 2 journalists lost their lives and at least 16 others faced professional insecurity. FNJ General Secretary Ram Prasad Dehel condemned such attacks and said that these attacks are not just against individuals but to democracy. Bihar is set to create history. For the first time ever, the eastern state of India will host the Khelo India Youth Games from May 4th to 15th. The 7th edition of this prestigious multi-sport event will be held across 5 cities of Bihar, Patna, Rajgir, Gaya, Bhagalpur and Begusarai. The opening ceremony will take place at the Patliputra complex in Patna.
Bihar is all set to make history. The state will host the 7th edition of the Khelo India Youth Games from May 4 to 15. This is the first time Bihar will stage this prestigious multi-sport event. Young athletes from across India will gather to showcase their skills and passion. The games will be held across 5 cities of Bihar: Patna, Rajgir, Gaya, Bhagalpur and Begusarai. New Delhi will also host shooting, gymnastics and track cycling events thanks to its world-class facilities. Over 10,000 athletes, coaches, officials and volunteers are expected to take part. This will be one of the biggest sporting events in the country. Khelo India Youth Games began in Delhi in 2018. Since then, the event has travelled to Pune, Guwahati, Panchkula, Madhya Pradesh and Tamil Nadu.
Now it's Bihar's turn to shine on the national sports map. The Khelo India initiative is a part of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision. The aim is to strengthen India's grassroots sports and make India one of the top sporting nations in the world. Over the years, Khelo India has produced several Olympians and international stars who have made the nation proud.
KIYG 2025 will feature 28 sports, including 27 competitive disciplines. Esports will be included as a demonstration sport, reflecting the rise of digital gaming. Hosting Khelo India Youth Games is a landmark moment for Bihar. It will not only boost sports infrastructure but also inspire a new generation of athletes. Narayan Singh's report, DD India.
And that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.